I can't say it enough, folks. You see the trail right there going through the middle of the woods. This trail right here that I'm on, actually I came in from a cornfield, or the grain field. It was actually beans. But this trail, when I come in, I found where it split, where deer are going into the trail in two different places. But this trail tells me this is the trail that probably most of the does are traveling. Now, I will mention this. I want to say this. When you're walking these trails, or even when you're walking through the woods, I don't care what time of year it is, once deer start making rubs and sign, say you're walking north, walk so far, stop, turn around and look back towards the south. You would be surprised at how many times when you turn around and look that other direction, you will see rubs and things that you did not see before. I can't tell you how many times that has proven true to me. Now, if you notice, this trail kind of gets up here and it kind of lightens out. What this tells me, in my experience, is when a trail gets up here and it starts lightening out and you don't see it as heavy, and I start looking, I can tell the deer are going this way, but there's a real faint trail there. So that tells me they're going both ways, which explains a lot, because me and my son came in here hunting this year. We noticed after we hung a stand that the deer weren't traveling like we thought they was. So hopefully we continue a little bit further. If I find something new, I'll let you know. Okay, as you can see here, we have a rub here on this tree right in front of us, and then right back there we have another rub. Now, if you look on up the woods there, and I don't know that I can get it from here, you see the other rub up there? Okay, this is what they call a rub line. This tells me that a buck came down through here. Now, what I'm looking at is when you look at a rub line, you look at the tree, and you see how it's heavily hit. Let me back out here. You see how it's heavily hit on this one side of the tree, and on the other side, it's not hardly got nothing. This tells me that this deer traveled, or was traveling, which way he came from. It's on this tree, and it's on that tree. So that tells me that the deer is going this way, which is a westerly direction. So that tells me that he's coming from, he's coming from the east. The one up there on the hill, I'm going to turn this around. The one up there looks like the same way. I'm going to stay on this trail. And the reason I'm staying on this trail is I'm using an app called Scout Look, and I've got the tracking mode on, and I'm trying to mark things as I go. I haven't really used this app a lot, but here in Kentucky this year, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Scout Look in Kentucky, and I'm going to use Onyx in Indiana, and I'm going to see if there's really that big of a difference in them. Onyx, I'm paying, I think it's $30 a month for. Scout Look's free, so I'm going to see how well each of them do work. I do know the Onyx does show you boundaries of ownership of land from private to public, or who owns what land, and it gives you their address, which is good, especially if you're hunting a lot of public land. I hear Scout Look is supposed to be doing that, so that's something we'll talk about in a later video. But I wanted to let you in on that information. Anytime you find a rub, look at where it's heavily hit, and that will tell you the direction that deer's, give you kind of an idea of the direction that deer's traveling. I'm also seeing another one over here. So I found 3, 4, 5, there's 6. As I look around, I'm seeing all these rubs. Now, one thing I am noticing, these rubs are kind of in cover. They're in trees. You've seen the little one. When I find rubs in trees like this, this tells me these rubs might have been made, good possibility they was made in daylight hours, because deer will stay to cover in daylight. The rubs you find out on field edges, or maybe on the side of a logging road or something like that, a lot of times those are made at night, when the deer can move at night, move at night when no one can see him. Where in the daytime, he's going to be in here making these in the daytime. He's kind of sticking to cover so people don't see him as well. But also another thing real quickly about rubs I've learned, if you get deer, once you have a deer hit a rub, usually that area will always have rubs, because I don't know what it is, even different bucks. If one buck dies, another buck will take that area over, and for some reason they'll rub along the same line. I've even seen some, personally observed like 3 deer hit one tree. So we're running out of battery and I'm running out of light. So we're going to keep on, see what else we can learn. Okay, real quickly, you see the rubs. There's 2 there, 1 here. There's a little one back in there, and probably not going to be able to get it. That's a rub back there. When you find an area with this many rubs, when I've got rubs on trees this size, and I got rubs there, this here is a buck's core area. And I would be willing to bet that off in that thick stuff somewhere is his bed. I just don't have time to look for it because I'm running out of light. But I can guarantee you this. I'm running out of wind too. I have a tree stand probably 150 yards up this ridge. And this year I shot at a nice buck. It was probably a 140s buck. Missed him. Actually, I shaved him. I just barely got his belly. There was no blood on the arrow. A little bit of hair and that was it. But from what I'm seeing, I'm going down a finger here, going down this ridge here. At the base of it, I had a camera, which I want to check. But further down, there was even more rubs. This tells me he's bedding in here. More than likely, I bet you there's some doe beds in here. Like I said, I'm running out of light. I got a late start. I will tell you this, just to give you a hint, if you're going to do this, you've got a big woods, or maybe you're wanting to look at multiple locations, I suggest you get an early start. A lot of times what I will do, a lot of times when I do this, is when I lived here in Kentucky, I'd come home from work, I'd lay down for like 4 hours and I'd be back up and gone. I even actually took a couple times and left work early because I knew I was going to do this. And I know what some of you are thinking. Some of you think, well, I don't have time to do it. Yeah, you do. You just got to plan it. And we'll talk about that in another video. I don't know if you can see right there. There's another rub. So I know I'm in a buck's area. Like I said, I keep saying I know I got to get going. I got a few other places I want to check. Still got one more camera to retrieve off this property. But you know, when you get out here and you do this, you learn things, and that's what you got to do to be a successful hunter. It might not happen your first year, it might not happen your second year, but you keep on and keep on. Sooner or later you're going to score on a big buck. So like I said before, for the type of deer you're wanting to shoot, you got to have them on your property. So like I said, I got to walk up this ridge here, and I got a camera up here, and then I want to try to walk around. So if I see anything else I think will be helpful, I'll try to get it. We're down to about 2 bars of battery.